Welcome to the Elk Season Podcast, Season 5, Episode 2. Today is January 22nd, 2026. We are 220 days away from Elk Season. We are the Chambers Brothers. My name is Harold.
David.
And today on the Elk Season Podcast.
Long list. We're going to do our best to get through it succinctly and timely, and then just edit this out to make it look like I keep going on.
Okay.
Anyway, Colorado range riders. I'm not sure what that means. You're going to inform us. Unusual coyote growth in Wyoming. Don't feed the bears. We've said that for years. Grizzly deaths we're going to talk about, and one with a unique circumstance. YouTube influencer poaching in Idaho, but from Montana. Poaching in some cases also might be cheaper than a license. I don't condone it, but it's something we'll bring up. Japanese pictograms. A new rare resident at Zoo Boise. Wolf packs in Idaho. Quite intriguing. Carrying capacity conversations. Roping a moose. Not a good idea. The bear in California finally moves out. And tech legislation in Idaho that we are keeping an eye on. All that and more on the Elk Season Podcast.
Well done. Good outro. All right. Yes. So much stuff. Maybe that's what I need to do. Just make sure you have enough on your plate. You stay focused. It helps with me. It helps me.
Sorry, the way that you just laughed right there kind of makes me think, have you seen the AI golden retriever and French dog?
No.
It's an AI golden retriever and a French
bulldog.
French bulldog.
Okay.
Frenchie is his name. And they're doing a podcast. And they talk about how their owners work and stuff. But they'll say at the end of every podcast that they do, these little bits, they'll say something that's actually not funny at all, but they go into a laugh, and the AI laugh on these animals makes it look so bad. Anyway, the way that you laugh sounded like the laugh that those dogs do. Anyway,
wow,
and it's just AI
you.
dogs. You sound like an AI dog.
I sound like an AI dog with a bad.
You know what? This sounds
laugh.
like a modern insult. You AI dog.
You AI something. All right, let's get to it. Let's get started. What do we got first?
Well, the first thing on the list here is just Colorado range. Wow, it's hard. It's a tongue twister. Colorado range riders.
Yeah, let me.
Yippee-ki-yay.
I know that
Let's
we had a. It's been a couple weeks, so I'm looking at Colorado Parks and Wildlife is looking for range rider applicants to help reduce conflict with wolves.
Yeah.
To reduce conflict with wolves. The conflict with wolves is between wolves and cattle, right? And so ranchers can't afford, I guess, their own ranch hands. But this is to reduce conflict. This is one of those things. If you really do want the wolves in Colorado, go ride the range.
Yeah.
And just help reduce that. And it helped train those wolves stay away from cattle.
Yeah, we talk about hazing the wolves so they and animals in general. Like, make sure that they know human versus right.
It's a great program.
But on a side note, the image that came with this, you know what I'm saying. You don't even have to say anymore. Like, I just want to be there. Right
How could you say no to a job like that?
Whew. Trying to help out. Yeah. So, we want to make sure that we do things right there. But speaking of. What other wolves do we have to talk about on here? Oh, the wolf pack in Idaho. But before we go, maybe the coyote tie-in from Wyoming.
Yeah, there was a coyote story. Now, I know we covered a coyote story a couple weeks ago or last week about a coyote killed in New York that turned out to be a wolf.
Yeah.
They had to do a genetic study, but it was an oversized coyote, or it was an undersized wolf.
Yes.
But it was an oversized, what he thought was a coyote. Now we've got coyotes. Over the past 30 years, there's been an increase in the size. Not a small amount. 30 to 40% increase in size.
That's nothing. That's not
that
nothing.
Is not.
And this is in Wyoming specifically?
Yeah.
And probably in other areas too. But
the study's been done in Wyoming.
Gotcha.
Okay.
So at least in Wyoming.
And so instant hypothesis, right? We go, oh, I bet wolves. I bet they're breeding with wolves. 40% increase in the size of coyotes. So they did a study. No wolf DNA.
Okay.
They're breeding with dogs. They're getting their size from other people's dogs.
You ready? Can I play devil's advocate just for one moment? Where did dogs come from? I caught you there, don't I?
Wolves, that's right. Including coyotes, I guess, if you want to throw them all down there.
Anyway, but no, I know what you mean. To be more realistic about it. It's interesting to know that and I'm not surprised it's happening.
And my hypothesis went somewhere else before it pointed to dogs.
What was that?
my hypothesis went, it's not wolf DNA, it's wolf competition.
That's what you know. What my brain went there too earlier.
Right? They're they're just getting bigger because they have to compete with wolves and run away from wolves and defend themselves against wolves. But that wasn't it either. But that was right where my brain went. It went to the wrong place again,
and so did mine. But no, it's intriguing, and you know, I don't think enough people watch, you know, The Price is Right. Both Bob Barker and Drew Carey spay and neuter your pets.
Yeah. Help control the pet population. Have your pets spayed or neutered. And there's right, I've seen it so many times. I can just rattle it off. And you know, it is coyote mating season right now, January all the way into March, and they're out and about and they're looking. I have a dog at home.
Yeah.
And I live in the country. She's not fixed.
Interesting.
So I gotta be careful.
Those are curious looking pups you have.
And
there.
she's tall.
What is she again?
She is a sheepadoodle.
Oh yeah, I think yes.
A very tall sheepadoodle.
Yeah.
Anyway, so to be continued. I'm sure we'll see more on those coyotes from Wyoming.
But since we brought up wolves, you showed me a really intriguing image of the wolf monitoring in Idaho, and boy howdy, are they an active group of animals.
Yeah, so this is one of the coolest graphics I think I've come across. This is a graphic of every wolf pack and roughly their range.
Yeah, and it's all of the interior and northern part of Idaho.
It is a full-on polka dot. These are confirmed packs. Some of them are suspected, but there's so few striped ones that are suspected packs. These are all like verified packs in Idaho.
Yeah, it has the key here says documented pack, suspected pack, or terminated pack. And so when they say they were trying to cull however many wolves in Idaho, obviously that didn't go through. 90% of the wolves.
No.
And it might have been 90% of a particular pack, maybe.
Sure, they wanted to. But they were going to try to.
But it's solid purple for documented pack, striped for suspected, and polka dots for terminated.
Right.
And it's mostly solid purple.
Mostly solid. It's a really cool graphic because we talk about wolves a lot on the Elk Season Podcast, and we talk about numbers of wolves and how many elk they kill. But this graphic does a much better job of driving that point home.
Right.
They are everywhere.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
So don't feed bears.
Yeah.
Stop feeding the animals.
Yeah.
Hazing is important to keep, right? So what do you got on this one?
Well, there's a couple things. First of all, there's the emoji from Japan.
So
don't feed the bears. And if we made other laws or other regulations, right? Like don't drive in the South Hills between January 30th and April 20th. Mm-hmm. Make that an emoji. Right? Don't feed the bears. No driving on muddy roads, or you can't just be. I just think it's fun that they make like an emoji. I don't know what else to call it. It's a symbol. To me, it's like an emoji.
Yeah,
right?
it's
a
visual
image.
representation because honestly, our brain can compute visual information slightly faster than written in certain circumstances. So they must be, and I'm not sure about the Japanese language and how their characters work.
I really don't know either.
But visual information says a lot, but you can certainly have a lot of fun with what that means to convert.
And that's all it was for.
Because I'll be honest, I'm like, well, how do I turn this into an assignment in one of my classes? like
yes,
say it visually.
Right, say it visually. And so if you have to say visually, well, maybe that's what it would look like. The other thing is this woman out of, well, this is a Helena News, but I'm not sure. I think it is Lewis and Clark County. But she and her husband or her dad or something were feeding bears a lot. Some of them had to be euthanized. Mm-hmm. From what I read, they seem very unapologetic, right? And she doesn't think she did anything wrong. And her husband still has to be sentenced, or has yet to be sentenced. So we'll look into that. But don't feed the bears. A fed bear
is a dead bear.
Is a dead bear.
Don't feed the bears.
And I think that's what Japan is learning with all these attacks.
Yeah.
They had been feeding them, or they had access to garbage, and all of a sudden they clean up or there's not access to food and I'm hungry. You think you know hangry? Try it with a bear. That's not good.
I wonder if though that's the reason why a bear is my spirit animal.
Right?
Because I get real hangry.
The hangry is a real thing.
And
yeah.
I did eat a moldy cookie earlier out of my hangriness. No. But we don't have time to go into that story today, so that's just going to be.
But it cured him of hangry. Yeah.
And then it gave me lots of anxiety.
Oh, a little extra penicillin, you'll be fine.
Do we want to talk about grizzly deaths yet, or do we want to go on to something else for a moment?
We have so many things to talk about. Let's just rattle them off whatever comes up.
So you brought a story of a number of grizzly deaths, and this is in Montana? Or hold on, I got the story right here, and I'm asking him the questions.
Well, exactly. There's enough information missing from the headline. You should be skeptical.
Yeah,
very skeptical.
Headlines are sensationalized to get you to read material.
They really
They're
are.
not the truth of the matter.
And you got to dig a little bit deeper. Some people will scroll and see that and go, "Did you know?" Well, wait a minute, right? You can't quote the headline if you don't read a little bit of the article.
I'm pretty sure I have people that don't like talking to me anymore because when they start making claims of things that it sounds like they read online, I go, "Evidenced by?"
Yeah.
Evidenced by?
Yeah, what's your source on that? I've been saying that long before the internet was ever a thing.
Right.
What's your source on that? Because I heard a girl one time go, "You know what? I heard this is true. I heard this from a guy in a bar. This is true." I go, "You just quoted your source as a guy in a bar." Whoa.
Hello.
Right? So let's always consider the source.
So one of the things I didn't do a great source on is my grizzly death story, but I
want to find out more.
Well, let's start with the grizzly death, and then let's talk about the unique angle that this has, because that's how I set it up in the intro, right?
Okay.
And so there's a $15,000 reward for information leading to the conviction of an Idaho grizzly bear killer.
Okay.
Okay. So we don't like poaching. We want to catch these folks, but it was the location of this grizzly bear killing that piqued my interest.
And I have the deepest sympathy for whoever shot it.
Because in Idaho, and you brought this up before
this
we got on here.
This shouldn't be. I really do have deep sympathy. You think about a grizzly bear poacher.
I don't know the full context to the nature at which the animal was shot. If it was the innocence that we want to give the benefit of the doubt to, in Idaho, last year was the first year that we were required to have testing to make sure we can tell the differences between grizzly and black bears. It was more challenging to get through that quiz than you would think.
It was.
And I was humbled and I was appreciative that they made us do that.
Me too.
And I would like to do it more because I feel like even though I passed and I see black bears with you all the time, the location of this bear makes me realize the day's coming where I'm going to have to make that determination.
There aren't black bears where we hunt. There aren't grizzlies where we hunt.
Right. Like that we know of.
Aren't there?
This bear that they're looking for the murderer of.
The killer of, right? The poacher
was south of Stanley, Idaho, near Perkins Lake.
This is
huge.
So huge.
If this is, it looks like legit, so we need to vet it a little bit more. I saw the headline and I read the article, but it was 2025, just last year.
Yeah.
Perkins Lake I've been to several times. Alturas Lake is much bigger nearby.
Yeah, but it's all touristy down there. Yeah. There's a lot of people down there.
And we have speculated on this podcast several times in the last 4 seasons.
Yeah.
That it's a matter of time before something wanders this way.
It's just a matter of time. But that's wandering a long way.
But we've also covered how they track some grizzly bears, and they will wander a long way.
A long way. And in those, when you show there's the Greater Yellowstone grizzly bear ecosystem, right? And when you show that blotted on a map, it's the tri-state area, right? It's Wyoming, Montana, Idaho. Mm-hmm. It's there. And then there's the Northern Rockies grizzly bear ecosystem, which stretches from Great Falls all the way over to Coeur d'Alene, right? Mm-hmm. And that blob's there. And so when we saw Sue or whatever her name was, who took that long 1,000-mile trek, it was all inside one of those blobs, right? This bear has been killed so far outside those 2 blobs, hundreds of miles outside those ecosystems. Did you find something out?
Yes.
What'd you find out? Different Perkins Lake? Oh.
Yes.
Really?
A different Perkins Lake.
Okay.
So the note came out of Stanley.
Yeah, because that might be where the Fish and Game office is or where the news office is.
But this is too far south for what they're citing here.
Yeah.
So I was excited, and we got all excited for no reason.
We did. Okay.
But that's all right. But
false
see,
alarm,
I realized it is, but it isn't a false alarm. It was a Perkins Lake.
Yeah.
But the article said near Stanley. So that's what, I mean, you'll have it and you'll see it.
Yeah.
But it says here, this is the AI overview from the Google search I just did because I wanted to look this up a little bit more. So it says here in this article, the cabinet, and also the name that I mentioned, the Cabinet Yak ecosystem, sounded too far north.
Yeah.
For that. So I was like, wait, killed in late 2025 near Perkins Lake by the Montana border. Which is nowhere near Stanley.
No.
And so, Boundary County.
So it is inside one of those blobs.
Yes.
Okay.
So,
okay, we're ready when it comes.
Got so excited though,
right? I was surprised.
But this goes back to one of the themes we've already picked up on here.
Yeah.
You got to be careful with what you read.
Yeah.
And so maybe color me a little bit,
That's okay. That's okay. All's forgiven.
Embarrassed, but at the same time,
you corrected yourself.
Well, yeah.
And that's important too.
Yeah.
So thank you.
I took that shot a couple of weeks, about the day after our last podcast, which was 2 weeks ago. And then I said it and forget it. And I pulled it back up today and I totally forgot to continue that vetting, but it's okay.
Okay. It's vetted now. And it's closer to Montana border.
So if you're just joining us, the last 10 minutes was edited out because it was just wrong.
We are looking for those two blob ecosystems to merge.
Yes.
And to merge in the Lemhi Mountains. So actually, not quite the Lemhi. The Pioneer Mountains, I guess, are on the border, right?
Yeah.
So on the Pioneer Mountains, west of Spencer, Montana. Mm-hmm. So that's what we should expect. We should expect to see grizzly activity in those areas, and into the Bitterroots and into the Central Idaho Mountains. They should do well in the Central Idaho Mountains.
So speaking of poaching, though, poacher from Montana, caught in Idaho.
Yeah, Stealthlyhunter.
You say you recognize him, but I don't. I do.
Yeah,
him,
I've seen him in a ton of stuff.
But I know you watch a lot more of that than I do. So
a Stealthlyhunter. And, I see some of these guys and you read comments and, I don't like to believe rumors, but you see them and they're good hunters and they get great footage and they do kill stuff. And they have a following online and they make lots of money. And, when you do something because you love it, that's great. When you do something that you love and it makes you money, even better. But when you do something that makes money and you need to keep making money, you do more and more desperate things. And it's sad to see. I mean, he killed a wolf, said he killed it somewhere else just to get more money because they want more wolves killed in this area than that area. This is alleged too. But there's some other stuff in there. But it's just a bummer. Now when I see his face on any YouTube video, I'm not. There's other stuff to watch. Yeah. I'm immediately out. So anyways.
It's a bummer.
It's a bummer. And I know there's other guys out there.
So we talked about a story years ago on the podcast where I had a boss that lived in Michigan and he was driving down the road. Deer steps out and he hits the gas because he's a teenager. He calls because he knows he can kill the deer and call for the ranger to come out and be like, oh, this deer stepped in front of my vehicle. And so he's able to get a tag, pay for it and take the deer home. And so he said a couple of weeks later, he did the same thing. Kills his deer with his vehicle, gets the warden out there, and the warden says, you do it again, I'm taking you to jail.
Yeah.
Because the warden was picking up on what he's doing.
Yeah.
And being a teenager, 18, 19. So he was a legal age. So he said he never did it again after that. But that's like legal poaching. In a way, it's not poaching, but it's
right.
So, but something not the same, but something
a legal loophole, a strange legal loophole in Colorado. Yeah, where if you poach, you get caught poaching. Sometimes the game wardens or game officials don't have the right to take your stuff. Right? I think you get poaching in Idaho, they're taking the game and they're taking your rifle.
They're taking it all.
I hope so. But in Colorado, there's a little bit of a loophole. and you get to keep the game, and you just can't hunt in Colorado again. So you take your one opportunity to hunt in Colorado without anybody's permission, and you might not even get caught.
Yeah.
And if you do, you pay the fine. It's just like hunting, and you drive home. You don't get to hunt in Colorado again.
And the fines.
That's a loophole, a terrible loophole.
And it sounds like the fines might be cheaper than an out-of-state license, or
Yeah,
something like that.
Yeah.
So I don't
Yeah.
know.
Because if you're poaching, you don't have to worry about what area your tag is for, what area you're poaching in. You just go to the best one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
New rare resident at Zoo Boise, but this one comes with a twist. I believe it is true that it's there as a new, but a rare creature. But
So-
it's a sensational headline.
We have talked about Wolverines before,
Yes.
and I have said, if not on the podcast, I've said to you before that Bigfoot is sighted more often in the lower 48 than Wolverines.
Yes.
Right. And ever since I said that on the podcast 3 or 4 years ago, we've seen him where? California, Oregon. We've seen him in Utah now. They're in Colorado. They're in Wyoming.
We're seeing crop up everywhere.
All of a sudden, we're seeing him everywhere. And because we know what a Wolverine looks like. Somebody who's very excited for a Wolverine in Boise, who just wants something to post, gets a picture of a wolf and says, Wolverine is coming to Boise. I love Boise. Right? There's even an I love Boise heart on the bottom of that picture. And it's like
I actually think the wolf in the image looks upset that it's not a wolf instead. Like you're bringing a wolf. Like, he actually looks upset. But they could have been even more clever than this.
Yeah.
Get a picture of
Hugh Jackman.
Thank you. Anyway.
Yeah, that would have been closer.
Yeah. We forgot to mention there's a bonus story, and that bonus story is also about Wolverines in Colorado.
Oh, we have Wolverines in Colorado. What was it? Was it one of mine? I had so much
making
stuff.
an update on Wolverines in Colorado. We just released our Wolverine restoration plan, a major milestone in charting the return of this iconic species to the Colorado high country. So it's just an update on, we've seen it more and more, and the population appears to be growing.
Yeah.
They're an elusive creature. We suspect evidence of some dens sometimes when we're out hunting.
Yeah, we do.
But
we do.
Haven't seen any.
And we know that there are some further south than where we hunt.
Yeah.
Right? So
anyway, carrying capacity. Tell me about that.
So it's a new documentary. It's about Wyoming, and I just like the idea of carrying capacity, right? And for people to understand basic biology, what is the carrying capacity? What does that even mean? Mm-hmm. And if you have a 5-acre farm, can you produce enough food to feed your family for a year? And do you have any extra? Or do you have, do you need to go buy something? So maybe that 5 acres is the carrying capacity of your family. Or maybe 10 acres is the carrying capacity of 20 cows, right? 21 cows, one of them's going to starve. Or the whole thing's going to be diminished. You have to understand this very careful balance of carrying capacity. How many elk can Yellowstone carry?
Right.
Without wolves, right? How many elk does it take for wolves to have carrying capacity?
Yeah.
Right. And so they're called trophic levels, and they all stack onto each other. And it's a very delicate balance, and it's managed, and they're big numbers. So we kind of manage it on the borders of those numbers. But I like the idea of carrying capacity and trying to understand that with the context of humans. What is the carrying capacity of Earth?
Yeah.
Right. Our radio station does the Ag Show every year, and we try to answer the question. And I say on the radio all the time, we're trying to answer the question: how do you feed a growing population on a shrinking amount of farmland?
Yeah.
It's shrinking everywhere. And the population is growing everywhere. How are we doing that? As a former assistant plant breeder,
yeah,
right, and understanding, now crops are becoming immune to pesticides and herbicides. Mm-hmm. Right? What's going to happen? Well, robots.
Yeah.
Robots in ag. You watch robots in ag. It's incredible.
Yeah.
They have the size of dogs that go through the laser beams. They burn it. Right? They kill it. And and it's better for the soil. It's not. It's better for the entire ecosystem to have robots out there.
Cool systems too.
So there's some really great stuff going on in agriculture and understanding carrying capacity. So that's probably going to be a documentary on my list to watch, carrying capacity, and look forward to a report back on that one.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I need to watch out for that as well. Speaking of carrying capacity, it sounds like Idaho's challenged with some elk creating some damage somewhere. So they're trying to So despite all the elk, or despite all the wolves, if you look at that wolf graphic, yes,
you go, well, I don't know why we'd have elk problems anywhere.
Right.
But those elk problems are in Emmett. If you know where Emmett is.
Western Idaho.
Wow, that's a big drought right now. And it's on the border of the desert. So one of those purple circles, maybe it comes to that edge, but I bet those wolves don't come down into Emmett.
Yeah, but this is about the elk that they're managing out there.
Yes. So they don't want the elk to do damage to the cropland, to agricultural land. Right. And they say that this non-migratory herd is doing about $1 million in damage. 100 elk doing $1 million in damage. And the only reason I brought that up was because could we contrast that with $1 million in alleged damage in Colorado?
Right.
From
wolves.
So are we going to pick one? Are we going to side with ranchers or farmers?
Correct.
Right. The farmers don't want the elk there.
Right.
And if we had some more wolves, maybe those elk, and this is an extreme example,
right?
Because this is on the edge of this elk or this wolf ecosystem, but because we have wolves, and wolves should be taking care of those elk in Emmett, but the elk understand, they stay away from people, and so they have to do management, right? Mm-hmm. It's what hunting season is. It's conservation. It's management. So,
and we get to participate in that process, which is a fantastic thing. Yeah,
and I just like the idea of understanding. Well, elk do damage too. I understand the wolves are doing damage to the cattle, but the elk are doing damage to the farmland, and we need to manage it all.
And I don't know that we need to spend too much time here, but the carrying capacity image that you have here is actually about carrying capacity for bighorn sheep.
Yeah.
In Wyoming. So I don't know if you want to expand on that a little bit.
I have no idea.
But it was just the idea.
Just the idea of carrying capacity. I just like the label, and I want to watch that documentary. I know it'll be about sheep. But
I see. So I was. Yeah. I promise I was following along.
It's okay. I was talking a lot.
You were? What?
Yeah, it's a true story.
When does that happen? So must do it for a living or something.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
I don't pay him.
I don't really get paid. It's never good.
Dang it. Well, anyway, just a couple of stories left. We're actually going through this at
really? Wow.
We're only at 30 minutes. I thought this was going to take 2 hours to get through.
I know. I was really cooking.
So
you're telling me I can chat for a while.
Well, I'm telling you that with the 3 stories left, we got another 30 minutes.
Okay. All right. So, what you got?
So a couple of quick ones. Like the first one is like there's a guy who poached a moose by going out and roping it.
That's awful. That's awful.
So he's been banned for life hunting in Idaho.
Good.
But then to shift gears, go back to Southern California. That bear that moved into that person's out of the house apparently got evicted finally, and they used it was kind of funny because they had to get a company that does this because I can't remember where, like from the Lake Tahoe area.
Really?
They hired these people to come down to haze it out of there.
Okay, that makes sense. I bet that happens a lot in Tahoe.
Yeah.
Right? Especially hibernation.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Or not hibernation, but wintertime.
Yeah.
They got to find some place that they end up in somebody's home. Of course there has. That's great. Okay.
So they got in there and hazed it out of there. But upon being evicted, Bears asked, can I still get my deposit back?
Can I get my deposit?
Sorry.
Not after the mess he made.
Well, he left a deposit.
Not after that mess.
Sure. I couldn't imagine.
Cheerios everywhere.
It makes me think of Harry and the Hendersons when Harry's they keep him in the basement, but he keeps moving the floor.
Did you have a cat? No. Oh, don't worry. Then it's just a hairball.
I need to watch that movie again. The last thing to end on here is the legislation in Idaho that's focusing on tech in hunting. And we talk about tech all the time. I was excited about a pair of binoculars our last podcast.
We talked about this this very specific issue several times in the past on the Elk Season Podcast.
Yes.
In telling you, hey, Idaho's looking for people who want to contribute to this and to this whole technological debate and see what it is we can do to have fair chase, right? We just want a fair chase. And so I've talked before, I know a lot about drones. I don't call myself a drone expert, but I know a lot about drones and the things drones can do. And drones can, the day before, and illegal, before any new laws go into effect, it is legal, and we've talked about it before, to put up a drone the night before a hunt. You can do a complete census. You can do a thermal census of every animal, every bear, every deer, every elk. You can know everything the night before. According to Idaho law, as long as you do not fly on the same calendar day, you can use the recon from an aircraft to hunt the following calendar day. And I'm so glad. I'm so glad that from August 30th, to December 30th.
Yeah,
there's like all this big technology. No,
and
no.
And my understanding, and I took small snippets of it. It's not law yet. But they used a committee over the last couple of years.
Yeah,
and we actually talked about it at different times. I wasn't able. I wanted to be able to like. To volunteer, but I don't have the time for it. And I know that people who are more invested in that industry probably have a better voice anyway. But there's a lot of conversations going on. I think it's great. But what was I going to say there? What was the last thing you said before I jumped in? Crap.
I don't remember. I'm just glad that it's happening. It might not sound like I'm glad. I talk so much about the technology and how you can use it, but it's exactly how you use it that I don't like.
Right.
There
was a point that I was going to piggyback off of there, but I can't remember. But there's other things too, though, because like we go out and we set trail cameras all the time. So there's things like drones, there's infrared cameras, there's heat sensing devices, and there's also trail cameras that send signals to satellites or to the internet. And there's places where you can set these up. We've 55, pretty much everywhere out there. I can go skiing at Palmerell and still use my phone, which is kind of cool. But if you are hunting out there, that might put the deer at a disadvantage if you have devices that can transmit their data real time. Right. Which is what I have on display right here. I bought this at Costco for $40, but I didn't buy
just one?
I have two, but the other one's still in the package, and they've never even been outside.
There's a pretty.
Because they're good looking, but the concerns I had, I get it, and I'm kind of disappointed that I have these because they feel like paperweights now to me. I didn't even want to use this part of it. I was going to 3D print a cap to put over that. Yeah. To keep it, safe in winter because I don't want the transmitted. I just wanted the camera. But now that this legislation is going through, it's probably going to say it doesn't matter whether or not you have an antenna on it. So it's more of a paperweight or a unique device to scan my house if I go on vacation because I'll put it outside. Right. So, but unfortunately, it does video, it does sound, it does all that stuff. But it's more of a dead paperweight because I remember what I was going to say. My rambling helped me remember. Yay! So now I know why Grandpa Simpson does it. And that was the style. Which was the style at the time. Now I forgot again. So I tied an onion to my belt. So, dang it. Sorry. It was there, and I did it to myself. I did it to myself. Jeez Louise.
All right, paperweight. I think you were talking about paperweights. You like paperweights for some reason. You got a lot of paper flying around because you don't have AC. There's fans everywhere. People need paperweights nowadays.
No, it wasn't that. Oh, you know what Grandpa would always say when you forget something? Must not have been that important.
Yeah, must not have been important.
You leave the house and I forgot my toothbrush. Must not have been that important. And I guess that's just where I'm going to have to sit with it. Yeah. It was kind of an interesting point that I had, but we've gone over time anyway. So to be continued on that.
That was a lot. Maybe we'll have more next time. That was a lot. I know I keep finding stuff. My algorithm, it's been 5 years, right? Maybe the algorithm's finally got me. It's just like, hey, you need this week. Possibly. So there was a lot of stuff this week. these past couple weeks. So I'll keep my eyes open.
We're in a drought here. Water update is it's the worst water. The worst water winter in Idaho since 1934.
Yeah, it's been over 90 years since we've had a water. And it's winter's not over yet. There's still storms to come, but it's not looking good.
No, and I want to go skiing next weekend. So if you're out there and you have the will to do it, pray for me that there'll be snow on the hill. I just bought skis for the first time in my life. So go figure.
Yeah. It's not snow ski. It's not snow ski buying season. It's snow ski season.
Yeah.
You got to buy the stuff in the off season if you want to save money. Anyway.
Well, these were from these are retired skis from previous seasons.
No, that's what I say. That's what I say when I see something on Craigslist.
Oh.
That's really dumb. Like, it's not printer season, it's printer buying season. Right? Anyway,
that's it.
All right, we'll see you next time.
Cheers.
Goodbye.
In the morning light, before dawn, bow grip tight, heart beating strong. Through the forest, ancient giants roam. In the land where the wild calls me home. Through the whispering pines and the autumn breeze, driven by the chase, crisp air I breathe. With every step I take, earth beneath my feet. In nature's beauty where the hunter and elk meet. The mountains rise, kissed by the sun. In September, where I belong, bugles echo loudly through the veil, a symphony of an ancient tale. Through the whispering pines and the autumn breeze, driven by the chase, crisp air I breathe. With every step I take, earth beneath my feet. In nature's beauty where the hunter and elk meet. Silent as the morning mist, I travel on with careful grace. Every shadow, every sound surrounds me in this wild embrace. The challenge and the thrill, the patience and the skill. In the dance of life and nature, my heart's forever filled. As the sun sets, shadows long and deep, I find my place with the memories I keep. The chase and the beauty of a day gone by. Deep in the mountains, my spirit cries. Through the whispering pines and the autumn breeze, driven by the chase, crisp air I breathe. With every step I take, earth beneath my feet. In nature's beauty, out where the hunter and elk meet. Here's to the wild places where the elk and I both roam. The chase that brings us closer to the place that I call home. In the stillness of the forest, in the grandeur of the land, I am one with nature's wonder, with my bow here in my hand.